Twist my arm. Wait.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
here we go.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So another company out on the front of new aerospace development, which is Aero, announces an electric regional aircraft. Now, this one's got a little bit more legs than just your standard air taxi market. And they're taking this aircraft out of Toulouse Bransal Airport, which, if I'm not mistaken, is also the home of Airbus. Okay, and
Belarus, yeah.
and apparently they got about 80 employees, and this one is looking to have certification by 2024, or excuse me, their first flight's 2024 and certified by 2026. But they're doing something different. It's going to be all electric, and this one is going to be a 19-seat aircraft. And by all means, by everything that I can see right now, it looks quite handsome. This is not an not an ugly aircraft. It looks like it's got all the features. It's not, from what I can tell, it doesn't have any opportunity to be a VTOL aircraft. Might be a short takeoff and landing aircraft. But it looks like they're going for certification up and above the level of 25,000 feet, which is where regional aircraft will operate on the regular. Looks like they're putting this thing basically squarely in a small market, puddle jumper, a low carbon emission aircraft. And it's real interesting because I, for one, think that this is a place where if it's a short enough hop, you might be able to see this thing enter a serviceable market and open up some markets that people currently see isolated because of just footprint. What's your take on this bad boy?
It is interesting. The company, as you said, has got 50, 80 employees, so it's not a huge company.
Not yet.
If you go to their website, they do talk about VTOLs, not this design, obviously, but VTOLs. So they appear to have their mindset in a few different places. But this seems a bit more, I'm not gonna say mainstream, but more like I could see it coming to market, actually happening.
Right.
And of course, the fact that they've chosen a specific number of seats, 19 seat, I have to look up the regs, but they're obviously targeting a specific market there.
Sure.
Again, I don't see a reason this really couldn't work. I'm interested to see maybe what details we can glean later in the future when we see like ranges and speeds.
Right.
But again, as we said, they are themselves coining it a regional aircraft, so that's it seems to be a market that I think this could fit into. When we talk about aircraft that might need to go a bit further or higher, electric isn't maybe quite there yet for those type of flights, but a regional aircraft with 19 seats. I think that
sounds nice to me.
Awesome.
I just decided to bring up their website and just take a look. They do have this other, it looks like aerobatic tail dragger, which looks real interesting, which is one of the things that might be their first offering. And if it looks like it's oh man, these are actually quite cool. So it looks like they've got their feet in both ends of possibly popping into the GA aircraft market as well, and then going to service. And again, if anybody's familiar with the airlines, Corey brought up a really good point, which is the number of seats. The number of seats when you look at what's called airline transportation and holding out to the general public, which means anyone can come and get a flight on your aircraft. They have to be specifically scoped, or this because of the clauses of how many seats and how many people can be available at certain markets and for certain airlines. There has to be a certain number of seats on board the aircraft to fulfill these clauses between regional operators, mainline operators, and of course to satisfy those for the operations for both the airman certification and additionally for the unions. So that 19-seat part is probably a huge or much bigger deal than we're really making light of, because that would involve a lot more investigation to find out where this thing would be most profitable. There's a lot. There's such a big discussion behind that. I know it's like talking over people's heads, but I don't mean to. But it is. There's more happening there, and congratulations for these guys for making the attempt, because it sounds to me like they're also going to pilfer off of the Airbus people that are already in Toulouse. Hey,
could be.
If you can't make it on your own, right?